Well, hello everybody, Kaiwaza with you. Welcome back to my channel. It's Sunday night and I actually just checked my YouTube channel a little bit earlier today and realized, unbeknownst to me, supposedly it's been 11 days since I posted a video, which doesn't seem right. It seems awfully a long time. I recorded several in one day. And maybe it's counting the day that I recorded it on as the day. I don't know, because it just doesn't seem like it's been 11 days. But I thought, well, that's not good. I should do something. It's been so long since I've checked in. People will be wondering what's happened to me or whatever. Not really, I suppose. And I'm drinking some cold water. So I'll probably start coughing. Does cold water do that to you? It kind of makes me cough sometimes. So I apologize for that. Actually, I had the thought to do a video a few days ago, and I wasn't ready to do another cheap lounge, and I didn't really have anything else ready to go or prepared. So I thought, oh, I'm gonna do my Q&As because I still have plenty of questions that I haven't answered in my bowl. So I was gonna do that, and as I went to do it and was going over to the counter to get it, and my iPad was there and this and that, and I broke the bowl that the questions have been in forever, since the beginning. And sadness, I love that bowl. It was not like a valuable bowl. It was from Ross, but it was one of my favorite bowls, so I was very sad to lose it. Fortunately, it was a very clean break. So there wasn't glass everywhere. There was just a couple of pieces rather, and that's it. So moment of silence for my favorite bowl. But anyway, the questions are now in a paper bag and a plastic bag, and I think we're gonna keep them there. I don't wanna lose any more bowls. It's a very clumsy moment. All right. I haven't even looked in these questions for quite some time, so I don't even remember or know what's in here. But let's do some questions. And then I should probably have a cheap lounge episode ready to go in the next, I don't know, within the next 2 or 3 days. All right, we'll just see how far we get with these today. First question, what is my favorite ethnic food? As a general rule, I would say Chinese. I consider myself sort of a Chinese food addict, and if I don't have Chinese food at least once or twice a week, I think I go into withdrawal. I'm very used living here in Hawaii. Of course, it's everywhere, and I'm very used to it. Also, there are other ethnic foods which I really love. I love different kinds of food. A lot of Asian foods I really love, Thai food, Vietnamese, I really love that. Japanese, it's okay. Like sushi is all right. Yeah, Japanese food's okay. It's not, I don't like it as much. It would be probably my least favorite of the major Asian cuisines. Love Korean food, love it. Love Indian food. There's not enough of it in Hawaii. We don't have a lot of Indian restaurants here. So when I am someplace where there's Indian food to be had, like when I went to Tulsa for Miss USA, and there was an Indian buffet close to my hotel, I'm on it like a fly on flypaper. I mean, I love Indian food. Outside of Asia, I do love Mexican food. Well, Italian food, but I mean, I don't know. I've never been to Italy, so I don't really have like the real thing. I don't know. I can't really say much about European foods because I haven't been there as an adult, and I haven't, spent time there, so I don't really know. I mean, I love Greek restaurants. I love Greek food too, and Italian food, but I don't know, like if I would really like the food in Greece and Italy, I don't know. Yeah. But Chinese is the fallback, and like I have to have it. I just love Asian foods also because you have a lot of vegetables, even if you're getting meat dishes, you can get a lot of vegetable dishes, which I like. Okay, next question. What's your favorite ice cream flavor? That's an easy one. I do like ice cream. I don't eat it very often. Well, I'm diabetic, and I really just don't eat ice cream very often. And you can get like sugar-free, either reduced sugar or sugar-free, low sugar ice creams, but they're made with that whatever alcohol sugar stuff, and it just, I'm a binge eater. I don't know, when it comes to stuff like ice cream. If I have ice cream in the house, I'm going to eat the entire container. I'm going to sit and watch a movie. I'm not going to lie to you. You know, I'm going to sit there with that gallon jug or whatever, and I'm going to eat. That whole thing is going to be gone. I might start off with a bowl and be like, oh, I'll have one bowl while I'm watching this movie. And then you have like part of another little, I'll have a few more scoops, you know, and you have that. And then the movie's going along or whatever's happening is happening, or you're reading a book. And then you're like, oh, why am I even like playing this game? And you just grab the container over to where you are to start eating it. So it's not a good thing for me to have in the house, because I can't, if I'm eating out, I can have a, you know, limited quantity or whatever. And the sugar-free stuff, it tastes fine. It's just that sugar alcohol. It just, if you eat very much of it, you are running to the bathroom all night long and half of the next day, and it makes you very gaseous. If you just ate a little bit of it, you would be fine. But like I said, with me, it's not the case. They're just massive quantities. My favorite flavor by far in ice cream is mint chocolate chip. I am not a chocolate fan. I don't really crave chocolate. I don't eat chocolate that much. I know that's really weird, but I do love chocolate and mint together. So anything that's like a mint with chocolate, I do like. Kit Kats that are mint chocolate, things like that. I love it. But ice cream, mint chocolate chip, that's the best to me. But there is hardly an ice cream I would actually turn down, to be honest. I mean, it's all pretty good stuff. Different flavors, but yeah, mint chocolate chip, so good.
Aloha. It may be cold. There may even be snow falling where you are. But where I am, the warm Pacific trade winds are always blowing. Where am I? I'm on Hawaiian Hi-Fi Radio on Live365.com, where you can hear vintage Hawaiian recordings from years gone by. You can literally feel the warm tropical waters. The hot Hawaiian sun. Bring some warmth into your life. Tune in to the vintage sounds of Hawaiian Hi-Fi on Live365 and be one of the cool tikis. The link is below in the description.
Next question. What's your favorite fast food? Well, those of you who know me on Facebook, I think you'll not have to hesitate a moment to know that my favorite fast food restaurant is Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen, and specifically Popeye's spicy chicken tenders. I love chicken tenders. I eat chicken tenders a lot in different places, and there are plenty of places that have nice, good, tasty chicken tenders. But there ain't nobody that can touch Popeyes, as far as I'm concerned, in my experience thus far. The best. So good. Crave them. There's one next to Savers. Usually on Tuesdays when I go to senior discount day at Savers, there's a Popeyes right in front of there, and I will eat lunch there, and I am loving it. I just love that. As far as like the hamburger places or whatever, what's my favorite? Favorite fast food? I mean, you know, Panya Chinese is going to count as fast food, I guess. So that also would probably be my, you know, number 1 or 2 choice also. Because I'll eat there a lot. It's pretty close to my house. Also, I like, for regular fast food restaurants, I mean hamburger kind of things, It's a bit of a toss-up. I would probably give it to McDonald's, probably. Although, I don't know. Like, I like Burger King too. I love that they have onion rings, and they have Terry burgers too, but I'm not as crazy about their Terry burger at McDonald's. I mean, at Burger King as I am at the one at McDonald's. And I know a lot of people don't like the McDonald's Terry burger because it has mayonnaise and it's too sloppy and messy for them, but I love it. It's just gooping in sauce and mayonnaise, and it's delicious. What's the other one? Jack in the Box? I like Jack in the Box. They're not super conveniently located for me. I like them. I like that they have like jalapeno poppers. I love that. I love their spicy chicken sandwich. Their hamburgers don't do anything for me particularly, but their other food I do like. I don't know. This whole thing McDonald's is doing with, what are they calling it? Where they're combining all these weird things, menu hacks, like people actually do this. I've never heard of people doing this, but apparently it's a thing where people will get like a fish sandwich and a Big Mac and combine them together or whatever. I think the concept is pretty disgusting. I can't imagine who's ordering those things. I can't imagine. I mean, maybe chicken and beef together, maybe. But like, I can't imagine putting a fish fillet sandwich on top of a hamburger or in with a chicken sandwich. I don't know. That sounds kind of gross. Next question. Are thrift stores expensive in Hawaii? What's the cost of living in Hawaii? I think I've done a video about cost of living. I mean, I could go on forever about that. I could just tell you I'm not a really good person to ask necessarily because I don't own any property here. I don't have a car. I've never had a car here. I use public transit, and as you know, I thrift a lot, and you know, I can get by here. I will say, realistically for me, which is going to be a lot cheaper than other people, on something in the neighborhood of, let's say, a little less than $2,000 a month. I can cover everything, but I'm living in a crappy old apartment, which I love, but it's crappy and old, and you know, I use public transit, and I shop at thrift stores, so I do eat out a lot. I don't know, the past couple of years, I'm just cooking less and less. I'm not interested in cooking. Are thrift stores expensive in Hawaii? Yeah, I would say. I mean, I don't know. I compare it to Florida, where I've been thrift shopping, South Carolina. In comparison, yes, especially a place like Savers is more expensive, especially on clothes. Well, even like Salvation Army here. I mean, Hawaiian shirts can run like $10, you know, $8 or $10 and up. Which I think in a thrift store is expensive for a shirt. It's not expensive in real life. I mean, you'd go out and buy new ones for $30 or something, but so $8, $10 is not bad and up for used ones. But I think books and records are well, I don't know, books here are like $3. It depends on where you go. I just don't think, I think they are a little bit more expensive, probably because their rent is probably a lot more expensive where they are. So yeah. I mean, Oregon, I used to thrift store a lot too, but I lived there in the 90s, you know, late 80s and 90s. Okay. Have you ever been trapped in an elevator? No, I have not. For more than a moment. I mean, I have had a couple experiences where like it opened halfway in between floors. I've had that happen a few times where it doesn't seem to be operating right, and it kind of stops, and the door opens, and like one floor is down here and one floor is like, that's a little creepy. And you kind of just get off at the next stop, wherever that is. Like, I'll just take the stairs down. but I've never been trapped in one. Would not be pleasant at all. I hope I am not. Yeah, not. You know, I've had experiences where you get on an elevator and you press the floor and it closes the door and doesn't seem to go anywhere for a while. Like I've had that long enough that you think, oh, it's working. I can't breathe all of a sudden, you know, but it's always worked. Okay, next question. If you were forced to watch sports on TV, what would you choose? Well, the only sports that I have, I have watched football voluntarily, like during the Super Bowl, if I'm with friends or relatives or somebody who's watching that. Like I have watched a few Super Bowls and it's been okay. I was forced to watch sports kind of at my workplace when I worked at the hotel in the lobby bar, and you had to have the TV on. You know, we did watch a lot of football. If I'm watching something by choice, and there are sports that I watch by choice that I don't anymore because I don't really have the option, and those are the Olympics. I love the Olympics, and I will watch things that I normally don't watch, but I will watch the Olympics because I enjoy like the different countries competing and, you know, seeing the medal counts and all this sort of thing happen. It's kind of interesting. I love, particularly the Winter Olympics. I always have watched figure skating, always loved that. Ice dancing, a little bit less so, a lot less so actually. And I enjoy all the weird skiing stuff they do too now, like all these sort of crazy, I should watch X Games kind of stuff because, you know, I love like doing weird things in the air and all these jumps and ski things. I enjoy that a lot. What other things? In the Summer Olympics, I would enjoy swimming and diving and gymnastics and just... well, I mean, gymnastics for what it is. I mean, I watch the women's as well. I like gymnastics. I mean, I'm not going to let it bypass by saying gymnasts, the men, have the most beautiful bodies in the world as a group of people. I mean, just the most beautiful bodies. But it's so hard. I just think what they do is so incredibly hard that I sort of appreciate watching it and thinking, well, thank God somebody's doing it, you know, because I certainly couldn't. But yeah, so I watch the Olympics and I enjoy them, but I haven't the past several Olympics because I haven't had television, and I watch everything on laptops and on the phones. And certain networks, when they host the Olympics, are very, I don't know, greedy about it or something. Like you can't watch it without paying them. Like I don't have a internet. I mean, my internet is not cable. I don't have that. It's just internet and phone service, and it's just, you can't, you know, you have no provider of cable to allow so that you can watch it. So, and there have been other TV shows too that I would have been watching, but I stopped watching because they required you to either pay, you know, episodes or whatever. And it's not like it's that expensive to do it, but I just have a ethical problem with it. I mean, I feel like if you're a commercial network and you're selling ads, you're making money off of ads, you shouldn't be charging us to watch it on a laptop. I don't think so. And if you are, I'm just not going to watch it. So I love the Olympics, but not that much. Honey, I don't even pay to watch Miss Universe, okay? If it happens, which has happened sometimes before, it's been on a network where you had to pay, like to be, or some cable network that you had to pay to get access to and whatever. And I just, like, I don't do it. I find a way around it. There's ways around it, but like, no. If y'all are selling ads and it's a commercial program, we should not have to pay to see it. Specifically that program. I mean, it's okay for a cable service provider to have a bill to have all of cable, but like, you know, I appreciate CBS, I have to say, because there are television shows I stopped watching, and the one I never have stopped watching because they've always been good about allowing you to watch episodes that have recently aired for a week before they lock it, is CBS and Survivor, which I continue to watch. They just started a new season because I can watch it on the phone or on the laptop or iPad or whatever for like up to a week after it aired. So thank you, CBS, for not being so freaking greedy. What do I miss from pre-COVID days? Not wearing masks. That's the number one thing. I'll be really happy when that's over with. I know in most of the country it's over with. Here in Hawaii, we still have a mask mandate until they just announced the 25th or 26th of this month. They're finally dropping it, although it will probably continue on public conveyance on the bus, which I use all the time. So I will still have to wear them on the bus probably, but at least they'll be dropped for going shopping and going to restaurants and working, because we have to wear them while we're working, and I guess that will be dropped too. So that's what I have missed the most. Second thing that I missed the most is frickin' cruising. I'm so jonesing to go on a cruise, you don't even know the half of it. Like, I love cruising, and I haven't been cruising in what, 2 years or something? I mean, cruises were canceled forever, and they've started back up, and most of them have now dropped their mask requirements for being on board, because I didn't want to go while it was still sort of grinding up and starting, and you had to wear masks, and like, I just kind of don't want that experience. I want it to be a little bit more normalized, and it seems like it's heading in that direction now. So maybe later this year, I don't know, we'll see how things go. If not, definitely the next year I'll start doing some cruises again, because I really miss cruising. I love it. It's a wonderful vacation for me. You can visit a bunch of little different islands or places. You don't have to pack and unpack. You can meet really nice people. When you want to be alone, you can just be by yourself, read a book in your little balcony or alcove or whatever. Food is wonderful. The people that take the cruises are usually very wonderful. And yeah, I love cruising as a vacation. So I miss that. Next question. What sports did you play growing up? None. None for a school team. I didn't play any on a school team. I mean, we did the stuff you had to do, in elementary school. I mean, which you did dodgeball, which I guess they don't even allow anymore, because you're kind of like intentionally throwing a ball at somebody trying to hit them. But I used to actually kind of like dodgeball. Oddly, I don't know. I kind of liked that. Never liked the traditional sports. I mean, that you'd be like football and basketball, baseball. I never liked them at all. When we started like junior high school and and I don't think gym was required, maybe only 1 year in high school, but hated that. Hated gym class. Just, I don't even want to talk about it. Not that I mind, it's just, it was not pleasant. I didn't like it. And there were a bunch of us that it was just a hard time. You were either totally picked on or bullied or whatever, or and that's how it was. I'm not, holding grudges against those people, but I'm just saying it was not pleasant. And I was with a group of people that would just, like, we had to do the required thing, like run around the field or whatever, take a couple laps at the beginning, and then when they would start to pick teams for whatever, football or baseball or whatever stupid thing they were doing that I didn't care about, that I didn't like, that we would go, some of us would go sit under the tree and just sit there and talk for like the whole time while they played their game, and then we'd run the couple laps at the end and they give you a C. It's like, that's kind of the deal, and I was okay with that. I'm like, that's fine, because I don't want to learn this. I don't like it, and I'm treated horribly when I even tried it sometimes. So I'm like, yeah, it's okay. You give me a C, I'm gonna chill out in the shade over here. So I don't play any sports today. I'm not interested in playing any sports. I'm not. Yeah, I'm a horizontal person primarily. That's just the truth. One store or restaurant I wish would open here. There was, when I was living in Portland, an Indian food chain called Wazwan. I don't know if they really exist in the rest of the country or anyplace else, but yeah, I would love some Indian fast food to open up here, like in the food courts at the Royal Hawaiian and whatever, 'cause I love that. On a side note about restaurants opening up here, Chick-fil-A is finally coming to Hawaii. They've never been here. I mean, I realize it's a controversial subject amongst my people, but they're opening in Ala Moana, right across from a Cane's Chicken, which should be a very interesting battle there, and a couple of other places in Hawaii they're opening up. But I mean, I have eaten at Chick-fil-A, and I don't quite get what all the fuss is about. I mean, it's fine, whatever. It's chicken. I didn't think it was amazing, spectacular, but you know, and I don't. Yeah, like I said, I know amongst my people, we're not supposed to be going there, so whatever. But yeah, Indian food is what I really wish that we would have more of here. Oh, the question was what store too, because I can answer. Yeah, okay, what store? What I wish would open here, that's a very easy also. The 99-cent store, the dollar store, Dollar Tree, whatever, one of those, because we don't have that at all here. Obviously, because I can't sell anything for $1 here and make any money off of it. Everything is going to cost you at least more than $1 to get to Hawaii from Hong Kong or China or wherever things are made. So we don't have Dollar Tree or anything really approaching it. You know, we don't. And I wish we did, because I love when I go to the mainland to go to a Dollar Tree and raid it. And, you know, leave some empty space in my suitcase and get a bunch of eye drops or get some things that I know just cost way more than $1 here that are perfectly fine to get there. So Dollar Tree would be nice. Yeah. Have you surfed? Have you played golf? Have you fired a gun? Have I ever surfed? Yes, I have surfed. I grew up really body surfing, which I knew about from a younger age, and I did that in South Carolina as soon as we started going to the ocean, and I love body surfing. And I'll do that here sometimes still too, but not so much. I'm older now. You know, I'm not gonna necessarily throw myself into big old waves and crap. But surf on a surfboard, yes, I have. When I first moved here and I was a student at Hawaii College, they actually had a thing you could sign up for early in the morning, like 5 in the morning. We would come over to Waikiki side, and it was like surfing instructions, and we would paddle out and they would teach us, you know, how to ride in and whatever. And it was several weeks. I don't know. I did that, and you know, I enjoyed that. I think sometimes what people don't realize about surfing is it's not super hard to catch a wave if your sense of timing and your, like, I could do that, like my sense of timing, my sense of the pull of the wave and when to go, like that. I had that, but you can catch one in, but oh my gosh, it's so much work to paddle back out, and you have to go out pretty far to where they're actually surfing, where they first break. It's exhausting. I mean, I'm sure if you do it all the time, it's something you're used to, but I'm like, whoa, that just like killed me. So, but I did it, but I don't do it now. I didn't keep doing it, but I love playing around in the water. Have I played golf? I've not played on a actual golf course. I've done a lot of miniature golf. We kind of grew up doing miniature golf, and I've done that, and I still do that once in a while when I'm in a mainland resort somewhere and they have it. I do like playing miniature putt-putt golf, and which I'm okay at, not great, but I've never played on a golf course. Have I ever fired a gun? No, I haven't. Would I? I mean, yeah, I would probably do it if somebody wanted. I wouldn't do it myself, but if somebody wanted to go to a firing range or someplace where you fire it, like, I would do it because I never have, but I'm not interested in owning a gun or, you know, having them. Okay, let me do one more and that's enough. We still have plenty more in here. Finally, oh, Democrat or Republican? Oh, I would get that one because that would take a while to answer. Short answer, Democrat. Long answer, I don't think, I think politics in the United States, probably in most of the world, is pretty corrupt. And I think both parties, no matter which party you're voting for, probably really isn't working in your interest. It really doesn't give a diddly squat. I mean, they're all sort of, funded by special interests or funded by big pharma or, all these organizations, all of them are controlling, politics, I think, a lot. And what ends up getting passed or what regulations are passed has a lot to do with, money, hands, palms being greased, money coming from different companies and different interest groups and whatever. So I think politics is pretty corrupt. I mean, I would align myself more with the democratic basic ideas or beliefs that, I feel like there should be a certain kind of dignity or human dignity that our government should support, or that's kind of one of the purposes of the government should be to make sure that its citizens are okay. They're not, I mean, I live in a place with a lot of homeless people, and I know people don't necessarily think that or know that about Hawaii, but it's frightening. I mean, you can go out and see the number of people, homeless people, with shopping carts wandering around with open wounds and sores, and they're crazy and they're yelling at people that aren't there, and I just think it's absolutely criminal that we allow people to live like that. It's absolutely criminal and inexcusable. So the truth of the matter is, although I say I'm a Democrat, I'm a registered Democrat, and I pretty much vote that way, although I have voted for Republicans, definitely. There have been times that I would say, honestly, I'm probably a socialist, really. I mean, I've never lived in a socialist country. I've never lived in England or Sweden or Iceland or Denmark or whatever, but from things I understand from people who live there, to me, it sounds kind of a little more just and a little more how I think a government should be, should address these issues and these income disparities. And I know people should be rewarded for hard work, and people should be able to make a lot of money from having good ideas and carrying through with them. I don't want to take that away from anybody, but income redistribution, which is what the taxation system is. We have it in this country. We're not a completely capitalistic country, although we love to say we are. We're not. We have some of what would be called socialism. I mean, we have Social Security, and we have, the whole income tax. The point of the income tax system is to fund the government and to redistribute income. So I think our income needs to be redistributed a little more equitably or whatever, in terms of help and assistance and, programs for people that need it. The top 1% are doing okay. And if you tax them more, they're still going to be doing okay. Kind of. But, I'm not an expert. I'm not going to be one of those people that's like, I know everything, and I don't know everything. But I look at places like Sweden and Denmark and Iceland, and I think, that maybe, I mean, I haven't lived there, but maybe if I did live there, maybe I would think that was the system that was good, I don't know. But I'm a Democrat, but I don't care what people are. You know what I mean? Republican or Democrat, it's like, it's just, are your brain cells working? That's kind of what I'm looking at. Or like, are you an independent thinker? Can you think for yourself and look at situations from different sides and decide whatever you decide? And hopefully recognize, I think, that politics are kind of screwed up in this country, and I don't think Democrats and Republicans are not really that far apart. I mean, we're portrayed like we are, but in the scheme of things in the world, we're not that far. It's like we're kind of here, as opposed to a lot of other places that are like ways. We're not that far apart from each other, actually. So that's it for my Q&A. We still have lots of questions, so we have more to go, but that'll put a little video out there, a little food for thought or whatever, or get to know me better. I hope you enjoyed that. And please, if you have any comments or thoughts about what I like or don't like or what I've said, please leave them below in the comments. And if you want to check out my hobby radio stations, they'll be listed, or at least one of them will be listed below to check out if you want to do that. So I'll see you in the next video. Probably will be a cheap lounge. I haven't done a postcard one in a while either, so who knows? But there should be one in a few days. Bye.